Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Vanlife in NYC with Isaac. We're going to call it an episode because that's what I think it is. This is number 6-ish, more or less. I just posted another video yesterday or today, so please do give a look at that if you have some time. Getting some good views on that. Please do feel free to subscribe as well if you want. No worries. I appreciate anything and everything. Well, I will say the last few days have been very fun, crazy, and eventful in all ways, and very I've done a lot of learning, let's just say that. So I was able to, on Sunday I saw The Lion King, which was really cool. If you have not seen The Lion King on Broadway, it features a lot of things that you may be interested in. Obviously, if you know the movie, you know what the storyline is, so you don't have to focus on that. It's pretty much verbatim, quite literally verbatim. And, you know, they have a fun few references to newer Disney stuff, which is cool. And the cast was just on the whole amazing. I think the two characters that stood out the most to me were Nala and Scar. They were great. So if you get the chance to see that while it's here, which it's been here for forever, go ahead and do that. That was one of the ones that I was like, I need to check this off my list. I've still not seen Wicked. Please don't hate me. I am a theater nerd who does not know Wicked that well. I'm going to just say it, be honest. Anyhow, so I did my first EPA probably in I want to say 4 years. If you don't know what an EPA is, you can go to Actors Equity, and I don't know how Ripley does it, Ripley Greer Studios, or how Pearl Studios really does it, but at least with Actors Equity, if you go to this building and there's an audition, the actual building opens up at 6 a.m. You just have to show them your ID and your EMC card or whatever, and tell them you're there to audition. So you can go to the holding room where you can sign up on this list. There's like a non-equity list, and then there's an EMC list, depending on the project, whatever it is. And so you have this nice little holding room, great Wi-Fi, and you essentially are going to fill in slots when equity performers do not show up for their audition. So you're on like the 4th floor, and the audition is either on like 12 or 16 or something like that. Is kind of how it works. So I signed up at 9:30 because they don't open auditions, or auditions don't really start till 9:15, 9:30. So for me, I was like, I just want to sleep in, have a good time, not worry about this. And I was meeting a friend there. Shout out to Taylor, who even got me up and out of bed to go there. This was for Flat Rock Playhouse, I believe is what it's called, which is literally on National Park. Wow, I couldn't find it. Having been to so many, I can't think about it. Which is really cool, and I would absolutely, that's definitely my vibe. They got through, I want to say maybe 1 or 2, max 3 of the EMC people. That's how many people showed up to the auditions. I had a friend go today who is equity, and her audition went apparently really well, but she said that there were a lot of EMC people that got seen. So Flat Rock is here in NYC for 3 days. So I'm going to go tomorrow morning, and I don't have anything else really on the docket except for editing this and a few other things. So I'm going to go and, spend my time editing and use it wisely, because, why else are we here? Why else am I here? So I sat there all day, and then I got to leave to go do a tap class because they have a lunch break in the middle of the day from 1 to 2. My class was at 1 and ended at 2:30, and it was about 7-minute walk away. But it's cool because, I had the chance to go take a tap class during this. I haven't taken tap since junior year of college for me. So that, being quite literally 6.5 years ago, 7 years. So it was a learning experience because it was like basic tap, and I was struggling. I'm a performer. I perform really well. I do these things, but dancing is like singer, actor, dancer, or whatever it is. But I'm much better than I was before. I've done a lot of performing over the last few years, COVID aside and everything. So I've been using my tools, but now I need to sharpen them. They're not dull, but they need to be sharpened so that I can actually do some of the other work that I'm not getting cast for right now. Because if I could get on a Book of Mormon tour tomorrow, I would absolutely do it. So the point being, like, these EPAs are really cool experiences to try and go. I had a friend show up there. Obviously, I know at least one person at one of these auditions every time I go. And this was another person I knew from college was there. And she signed up for both of these places, didn't get seen by either. So you just never know what really is going to happen. And she literally trained in to do just this audition and then had to train back out. So I hope you found it, Rachel. I hope you were able to come back today. If not, hopefully I see you tomorrow. But so that's the thing is like, luckily this one's here for 3 days, but not often for an EPA are they. So I started going through Playbill because there's nothing listed on Actors Access right now. You can also look at casting networks. There are a bunch of different websites. I'll list them either here or in the video link. But they kind of give you an idea of what and where things are, how to do them, what's available. I submit every day at least 2 or 3 different emails to companies with all of my stuff, either just to get an audition slot or as, hey, this is my stuff. Will you hire me based off that? Because that's the day and age we're in, right? I found a bunch of EPAs for next week that I'm going to try and fit in between my classes because I just signed up for a film study. Or I have my film study class that I've already been signed up for, but I just signed up for a scene study class, which is going to be super intense. And it's like a 4-hour-long class once a week. And they give you 3/5 pages of material that you have to learn and be memorized and off book. I have a week essentially to get this material understood and learned. So if you're not good at monologues, this is either a really good opportunity for you or like a terrible one. And I'll update you on how that class is going. If you have time like I do to take classes, this is truly the best way to do it. I took another dance class today that someone had suggested to me that was just downtown. And it's at this studio called Alpha Omega. And luckily, the director, choreographer, whatever, he does a lot with one of the local theaters here. So me getting in front of him, showing him that I'm willing to put in the extra work is a big step. And I think that's something you should be looking at when you do sign up for these classes. It was a 2-hour-long class. I looked like a fool in some of it for sure, because I haven't done a dance class in forever. I've just been dancing and just been learning choreography, which is much different than anything technique-based will ever be. So you have to know that going into like these situations, how that's going to work for yourself. If you're really good at technique, but you don't have any character or charisma, you got to have the balance is what I'm trying to say. And I'm so much better at the character work side of things than I am the technique. So I'm trying to find my balance. If you have the time to take classes, do it. If you can take a class with a purpose, with an intention, and you actually want to be in that class, that's the right thing to be doing. And you never know how people are going to respond to that, how they're going to take the information you're giving them, et cetera, et cetera. I'm very happy with how it turned out. I'm so sore. It's unbelievable. But I had such a good time going, and I'm going to go next week if I can, assuming I'm not going for an audition, because you do the classes, right, to be better prepared for the audition. And the audition will always take precedence because that's the goal, right? We're trying to get work. The class will always be there. That's what I'm doing now, is trying to really get the work, but I need to be sharpening the tool as well. Especially when you've been out of school or whatever for so long, and you're not getting maybe some of the stuff you really want to be getting. Like I said, for example, Book of Mormon. I would love to do Book of Mormon. That would be really cool for me. I'd like to be Elder McKinley. I'm trying to manifest that, even if it's on a tour, even if it's on Broadway, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. I want it. So that's why I'm improving my tap, and I'm improving my basic jazz or musical theater, however you want to divulge the style of Book of Mormon. It's a whole process. And if you're willing to put in the work and you're willing to say to yourself that I can be better and I will be better, you're set. I think I had a very interesting conversation today, and I felt like everything that I was saying to this person, who obviously has been in this business for a long time, just was not being received. Every time I said something, he'd already had an opinion formed. And it really made me realize, like, yes, you're in New York. You've done a lot of things. You've done this in your own regard. What I'm doing right now is for me. It's not for you. And I think that that's one of the things is, like, what my work is for me and for my family. And when someone tries to, like, say that, oh, it'll always be this way, it'll always be that way, I have a very hard time listening to that. Because if any of my instructors, for example, were listening to this, they would say, oh, he doesn't take notes well. I don't take notes well. And that's something that I struggled with a lot in high school and college, was taking notes, because I always thought I knew exactly what I was doing, how I wanted to do it. But now I was getting a redirection in an audition the other day. It was amazing. They were like, thank you so much for that redirection. I was getting asked to improve something dance-wise. I made the improvement as best I could. The acknowledgement of the note is the important part. How you deal with it is more important. That's what I'm trying to get across. And my professor said in college that I am unapologetically Ike, or Isaac, whatever you want to call me. And I have to say that that's true because I will unabashedly pursue my dreams. What it meant then, 6 years ago, is much different than what it means now. I'm unapologetically myself because that's the only way, A, I know how to be, and B, effectively good at what I do. I'm not the best, but I will always work very hard in a room to become something greater than I am now, this day. I didn't come to New York just to like piss about and not pursue this with my fullest intent. Sorry, I'll get off my soapbox, but all I really want to talk about is the auditioning, the classes, how these things work, and just to not be afraid to take a risk. I'm not the best people in any of these classes, and I'm sure I look like an idiot half of the time, but I'm trying. And it will only pay off and be for my benefit. Because sitting inside my van or sitting in my apartment in New York, whatever it is you're doing, will never get you the job. You got to be out there. You got to be meeting people, doing the things. You got to be trying to better yourself. And it's fun to have an interest in something you love so passionately. And I hope the same for you or anyone watching this, that auditioning and being a part of this weird, crazy performance life is interesting to you. I just happen to live in a van. So it's, I'm settling. I'm finally settling. I've had to move twice. It's been great. Say hi to the safety car, like the patrol car and the street sweeper. So nice. Will I live in this area forever? Probably not. But it's helped me get an idea of how the city works, what trains to take, et cetera, et cetera. So this is auditioning. This is acting. This is skill-based. This is also van life. That's what this little podcast is about, is finding the balance between those two and finding the happiness and the joy in it all. At the end of the day, I hope you're having a great week or a great start to it, great end to it, great middle of it, whatever it is. Thank you all so much for coming by. I hope you're enjoying these. Please like and subscribe as you are. And if you like the photos that I'm posting of my trips and my journeys, please, I will absolutely post more. They're very fun. And I'm still developing what I want for like the titles and the animation sequences and all those different things. Don't worry about it. I'll figure that out. But if you have some suggestions that are nice, I'll listen. Otherwise, I'll catch you all on the flip side, because that's what people say in 2023. And I'll see you soon. Thank you so much.